Inside Man United's infamous hierarchy, and 4 players who were given special treatment. 4 Manchester United players were given special treatment by the hierarchy. Ruben Amorim wants to see his Manchester United team deal better with the responsibility of playing at Old Trafford when the Reds step out against Bournemouth on Monday evening. The Portuguese's side were victorious at Wolves on Monday evening and also triumphed in our preceding away game against Crystal Palace. But, in contrast, the Reds failed to win either of the last 2 Premier League games to take place at Old Trafford, against Everton and West Ham. In an exclusive interview with club media before Monday's game against the Cherries, which you can watch in full below, Amorim implied that his team need to deal better with the levels of expectation that surround home games, and the more conservative approach that visiting teams sometimes adopt in M16. Andoni Iraola's team were up to second in the league table as recently as late October, but have not won any of their last 6 games in the division, a stretch which also included 4 defeats. But Amorim is keen to dismiss suggestions that we might be catching the Cherries at a vulnerable moment. Or, indeed, the alternative view, that Bournemouth are more hungry because of their recent setbacks. The wounded tiger cliché. I don't think they are more dangerous now. They are always dangerous, stated Amorim. I just look at more than the results, because that can change, and we are proof of that, the way they play the game, and the quality that they have and the manager that they have. Another note that the 40-year-old touched on during the interview was United's defensive record. The Reds are conceding an unhealthy amount of goals despite facing fewer shots, according to Amorim's analysis, which is something our head coach is keen to resolve. I think we are scoring goals, but we are suffering so many goals, too, and we will try to find the solutions, he said. We need to press better, we need to protect our goal better, because we are not suffering a lot of shots in the last games, I think. We are improving on that. But we know that any opportunity, we are suffering a goal. So we want to continue to score goals but focus on not suffering goals. That is a key point to win games. Inside Man United's infamous hierarchy, and 4 players who were given special treatment. 4 Manchester United players were given special treatment by the hierarchy. Manchester United's infamous hierarchy had one of the toughest reputations the Premier League has ever seen. The club was managed by Sir Alex Ferguson for almost 30 years, and it was well known how he ruled the team with an iron fist. Cross Fergie, and it may be your last time appearing on the team sheet. The success was there for all to see, with a staggering 38 major trophies won during his time in charge. However, Dimitar Berbatov admits that not everyone was held to the same standards within the walls of Old Trafford. The Bulgarian has previously claimed there were 4 players within the squad that received special treatment from the Scot, and everybody in the dressing room saw it. Speaking to the Mirror in 2022, Berbatov said, "The hierarchy in football, it's always there with the players. It doesn't matter when anyone tells you. When you are a star in a football team and you deserve to be one, of course, from time to time you will have special treatment from the manager. I remember Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes and Gary Neville when we used to train. They trained a bit differently so they could save themselves for the games, and there is nothing wrong with that. This is normal in football." So it was the same with Cristiano Ronaldo, and in the end, we saw the results. Despite this preferential treatment being obvious to the other players in the dressing room, Berbatov insisted that it never caused a rift. He added, "When you are a great football player, sometimes the manager is going to give you more special attention. As long as you help the team win the game, this is normal in football." Sir Alex was very good at making a point to speak to everyone individually, so you didn't feel left out. Even if you didn't play, he would know how to speak with you. The special treatment these 4 stars received certainly worked wonders, as they won a combined 88 major honours under Ferguson at United. Neville spent his entire career at Old Trafford and is a Premier League Hall of Famer. Aside from 2 appearances for his son's football team, Royton Town, in 2018, Scholes was also a one-club man and crops up in many debates about who the best Premier League midfielder of all time is. Giggs spent his whole career in Manchester and won more Premier League titles than any other player in the history of the league. Ronaldo's name speaks for itself, as he went on to become arguably one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen. Ferguson's preferential treatment of these 4 former United stars certainly paid dividends in the success of each of them and the club as a whole.